members of the Justine Dream Team, I am finally bringing to you the all the horses I've tried video. When I got Holly, I said I would do this video and then I kind of forgot about it. So here it is, finally, weeks and weeks and weeks later, but it's here. So let's get into it. Before I get started in this video, I just wanted to say that I met a ton of awesome people at Pony Finals, like Sarah, and Sammy and Julia, Finley, Grace, and Ava, Addison, Campbell, Bailey, this awesome girlie who actually has a fan page for me, so that's awesome. Y'all should go check that out. Kate, Jake, Julia and Olivia, Gigi, Morgan, Camilla, these awesome girls in the golf cart parade, and these awesome girls, Claire and Reese, Shayla and Zaylee, Caroline, Kat, Finley, and Quinn, Madison and Haley, Annabella and Lainey, Winter and Rose, these two awesome girlies, Natalie, and a bunch more, but unfortunately we didn't get photos. So let's start from the very beginning. A year ago, I was leasing my pony Charlotte, and then after Pony Finals, my lease ended, so then I went to Florida and I tried a few horses, and then I went back to Texas and tried a few more. Those horses can be seen on my Instagram or on my 3-year riding transformation video. After I tried those horses, I announced that I wasn't going to be getting a horse at that time. And so then a good few months passed. I saw a horse online and then I talked to my parents and we decided that I could go and look at some. I wasn't going and trying a ton of horses just to get one at that time. I only went and tried the ones that fit very specific criteria instead of just like a broad spectrum and then hope I find one and then get it right then. So by the looks of it, I really thought we weren't going to find one at that time. But backtracking to that one we found online, which made me talk to my parents and they said we could go and look at some. So that horse was a little warm blood mare and she was on the market for months and months and months. And then we go and schedule to try her on like Saturday and someone else is gonna go try her on Friday. And Texas has this big cold front come in and it's like 30 something degrees. And I guess the people still went and tried her and they bought her the day before we were gonna go try her. Keep in mind, she's been on the market for months. So clearly that wasn't meant to be. And then I looked at some more horses online and I found a horse on Facebook. It was in Louisiana, about 4 hours away from where I lived. And so after asking some questions about him, we decided to go and try him. The most intriguing thing that made me want to go and try him is that the seller continuously said how he was so sweet and yada yada yada, so safe, whatever. Now when I went and tried it, that was a different story. Whenever I got there, I immediately just didn't feel any sparks. And then when I got on him, we just really weren't a match. I couldn't get his head down in the trot and he was just like trotting with it up here. And then we cantered and he was a bit fast and he had that like, I'm only going this speed and you can't slow me down from this speed type of speed. And that speed was just a little bit too fast for my liking. Not that I wouldn't ride it, but it's just that I wouldn't want to buy a horse that isn't that adjustable because that's my #1 priority when I was buying a horse is adjustability. That makes the world of a difference. So the fact that he wouldn't slow down easily was a big turnoff. Took him over a jump, which didn't work out very well. Yeah, so I decided not to continue. And I was like, I just don't think he's gonna be the one for me. And I got off. Then she was like, oh, well, I have another horse and he's much sweeter and stuff and he's not really on the market, but I'll sell him to you. So I was like, okay. I got on this horse and his trot to me was just so discombobulated. And it was very hard to like steady myself. So that didn't really work for me. I'm sure it's fine for other people. And on camera, it looks like a beautiful trot. But I felt like this when I was riding it. It was just a lot of movement and it was hard to stay still. And then one weird thing is that the reins were like literally plastic. They were so hard to grip and they were so slippery. And so when I went to canter, he kind of did a little crow hoppy, hop hop. You know, he wanted to be a little Easter bunny there for a second. And then my rein slipped and I was like, yeah, I don't want to jump him because if he decides to do a little hoppy hoppy after the jump and my reins slip, I'm like dead. So. That horse, I went back online on Facebook and I stalked Facebook and all of my local groups like hardcore. I would like type in specific things and then scroll for ages trying to find hidden horses. What do you know? I saw a horse that was posted one time in a comment on an old post in the group. Wow, she looked very cute. So I just messaged this person up and I was like, hey, you still got that horse? And she was like, hey, yeah, I do. But she's very skinny right now and yada, yada, yada. And so I was like, never mind. Then maybe like a week or a few weeks passed and this flippin' horse would not get out of my mind. My gut just kept going back to it and I was like, yeah, you should message that person more and you shouldn't have said no. And this horse was like taking over my life. And so I went back to that horse and I messaged the girl up and I was like, hey, do you still got that horse? And she was like, hey, yeah, I do. And then we talked for a while. So even before I went and tried it, my gut was speaking to me again and I was like, this is the horse I'm gonna take home. Well, what do you know? Because that horse ended up being Holly, which is my horse. So yes, this whole time I was talking about little Holly. And so then we go and try her in Dallas. And things went really well. But she also rode exactly like how I like. She was very adjustable, very light, very responsive.
Anybody I'd trust to
that ride went really well, and then we went home and found out we were gonna be taking a trip. And on that trip, we would pass right by Holly again. So I got to try her for a second time, and she was again very, very good. That ride, I knew that I really wanted to take her on trial for a week, and that week can be seen in my getting my first horse video, because it went well and we got her. So yeah, that's my story with Holly. I think it's a bit of a crazy story because of how I initially crossed her off the list very quickly, and then my gut was like punching me and I was like, get back to that horse. So we got back to it and we bought it. Do y'all have any crazy stories about meeting your lease or purchase horses? Let me know in the comments. I would love to read them. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Join me next time. Go out there and dream, believe, achieve. Bye. Goodbye. Tried the ones that spit.